Alright guys, welcome back to Ag with Emma. We've got farm tour number 3 for 2023 and it's January 10th of 2023 and right now we are in Throckmorton, Texas with Tucker Brown, and we're on R.A. Brown Ranch and they have got a pretty nifty operation going on here. I found Tucker on TikTok. I messaged him I think like a couple days ago and I was like, hey, I'm coming through, let me come stop, and they're super nice, super inviting people. So we're gonna show you what's up.
Let's do it.
We're gonna cover a little bit of calving because they are calving down here in Texas right now, and this is good because I'm gonna be up in South Dakota next week-ish, and they're also calving up there, and there's a lot of differences because of weather, because of, you know, areas that they ranch in and take care of cattle in. So it changes quite a few things. So we're gonna show you what's up with calving, and then fertility testing is going on as well. And then kind of the bare bones behind their operation and what they do, where they come from, and all that stuff. This is Tucker's dad.
Yeah.
Mr.
Brown.
Mr. Brown.
Oh, yeah. Mr. Brown just left. Y'all talk to Dad and Mom?
Yeah.
There we go. I feel like a proud dad when that calf come running in.
So right off the bat, we went and fed protein cubes of the cattle, and that siren acts as a dinner bell. They know that that's what they're getting when that siren goes off. And then they also use it in the big woody brushy areas that they ranch in. So you can see all the cattle like chomping at the bit to get their cubes, which I'm going to show you right now. So this turns on in the pickup because obviously you don't want it on all the time and then you're always dropping feed, but turns on right there in the pickup. It all comes out. There's a bunch of belts, things that are moving and pushing that out. And then it just all comes out through there. And then Tucker took a quick count of everyone that was there to make sure they were all there, and then you're good to go. So they're also doing fertility testing at their ranch right now because they have 2 sales a year. There's one in March and there's one in October. And right now they have a team that came up from Lubbock to do fertility testing. We're going to show you guys that. And they're basically just making sure that the bulls are, you know, reproductively sound enough to be sold in a, you know, good conscious manner. You wouldn't want to sell someone a bad bull, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
So
our name is connected to it, and we want that to be a positive experience. We do not want to sell a bull to someone that would not breed. So if we can be more accurate at that by testing it, we're going to spend the money to do so.
And then you have all the records. It goes all the way back to records. So this is what that fertility testing looks like. She has a sample on her screen under her microscope. She's taking down a count of a lot of different things with her finger tapper that's on the side. And then they're yelling out numbers. They're taking care of that bull and just getting the information that they need to make sure that he is fertilely sound, reproductively sound. Now we're going to talk calving. So this little mama had her calf, and Tucker had to go out and take records of it. One of the first things he does is weigh the calf because since they run registered cattle, you have to have accurate birth weights and everything like that, which can be attained within the first 48 hours of the calf being born. So that's what he's doing here. It is not hurting the calf. He's just getting accurate records. And after he gets that calf tied up nice and proper, he's going to lift him off the ground with a scale that's connected to that rope he has in his hand currently. Right there. And that's how you weigh the calf. And then you put him down, you take the rope off, and you're good to go. So after he gets done tagging and weighing that calf and putting the records on the ear tag, he comes back to the Ranger or the pickup or whatever they come out here with, all of the records. So he's writing down the weight, the tag number he put on it. He basically writes down everything. They have a record there and a record, like a mobile record that walks around everywhere. Currently SOS because we're looking for a little baby that we cannot find. So the headlights are coming in handy here, you know. It's better than just being out here on a horse or something, but there is a baby that is not to be found quite yet. So just to give a little context, in Texas right now where we are at, it was 80 degrees when I pulled in here today. So while they're calving in Texas, there's also calving going on in South Dakota, and that's why part of today's trip was so important, was to show you guys kind of how this is set up, how they manage to handle things. And then when I show you guys South Dakota in a couple videos, it's going to be a completely different setup, and that's important to remember when we're thinking about how operations run and what changes based on environments and economics of states and just the needs of cattle and what they breed and what they do.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, sir.
And that weighs the calf because they do registered cattle. The weight reads right there. So that is a 74.5 pound calf. And then if you want to give it the temple granite squeeze, this is what he told me. Put your knee right here, another knee right up in here, and then you can just watch him relax. Like, look at that. Just chills right out. And then you can feel the heart rate go down. It's a whole thing. If you've ever seen the Temple Grandin movie or know Temple Grandin, she is a big advocate for, she's like a cattle handling professional. She's done a lot of work in the cattle industry to make sure that animals are cared for properly, that they're not under a lot of stress. It's a low stress environment, and she has done a lot. And you should watch her movie because this would make a lot more sense. I'm not going to tell you why it would make sense. You need to go watch the movie. So when they write the tag, they take down the date, sire, and then the mama's tag. And then what was the J for?
That's just the mother's number.
That's
part of the mother's number.
So the J is part of the number, and then all the other information just helps keep that record on the calf. You can take all those records. It's just like an ear piercing. It doesn't hurt him that bad. He's just being a little dramatic.
All right.
Okay.
End of a good day. Emma is here helping comfort the little baby calf while Tucker makes the ear tag. And we're going to identify that little baby. And it's a end to a beautiful day on the R.A. Brown Ranch.
So on this ranch, they have a lot to do with bulls. It is not your normal, no operation is normal. Every operation is different, but we're gonna have Tucker explain what they do differently here and kind of the terminology that they like to use to keep a positive connotation to what they're doing.
So this would be what we call our bull development center. And for 9 months, our bulls are developed here and under our care. What makes it, it's not a feedlot. These aren't fat couch potatoes. What we like to call these are in-shape athletes. These bulls are fed a forage ration that develops their stomach that is ready for grass to be turned out to work with cows. Each of these pens, if we look over here, there's a hill that we see in the distance. Each of these pens has a lane that goes up there. We've taken out all the shade in the bottom so that if bulls want shade, they have to climb this rough, rocky hill. We call it their two-a-days. Climb this rough, rocky hill, gets their muscles stronger, gets their feet hard and ready to go to work for cows. So here's the Bull Development Center.
So these
Yeah, right there.
So these runs that he's talking about are right here. So they follow down that fence. That fence goes all the way to the bottom, and then there's a gate back there, and it just runs right up that hill. You got the pretty sky. I'm sure the bulls appreciate the view just as much as we do, right? Right. Now we're gonna show you a cool little piece of technology that ranchers get to implement. So a lot of people, when they think of agriculture and technology, think of, you know, auto steering tractors. They think of, what else do they think of? You know, like,
I think of like embryo transfer and reproductive technologies. When it comes to farming, I always tend to think of like those self-driving or GPSs.
So there's a lot of things that might come to mind when you think of technology, but something that may not come to mind when people think of technology within agriculture is feed. So better ways to efficiently monitor feed and growth rates with cattle. Right, so in their bull development center, they have a grow safe system. And Tucker, what does this do for you guys?
So this is what we like to see as the great next frontier in the cattle industry. We are testing feed efficiency in animals. So this animal right here, he's got an electronic tag inside this ear, and when he sticks his head in, this system reads it, and it can tell a weight difference of 3 grams. So it can really accurately tell what this animal eats. And then with an algorithm that we use with GrowSafe, or now Vitelli, we can tell which animals are more efficient at turning forage into beef. And moving forward means more sustainability, being more efficient with less, and making more profit for the cattle industry and rancher.
So the GrowSafe is like, I didn't come up with this one this time, but it's like a weight tracker app on your phone, but for cows. So everyone that's, you know, paranoid about counting their calories and making sure they're eating right and turning all that caloric input into the right amounts of, you know, their bodybuilding stuff, that's what this does for cows. So they take all of that stuff. That doesn't look very tasty to me. Would you eat that?
No.
I mean, you probably have.
No, unfortunately on accident.
But they turn all that into the juicy, good old ribeye. Well, they don't turn bulls into ribeyes a lot because they're tough.
Tougher.
Yeah, but all this stuff, even though it's sitting on the ground, they're gonna chow it up and turn into a ribeye. So another thing you're gonna notice is these numbers on the pens. There's numbers on the GrowSafe bunks. There's more numbers on the ear tags. There's more numbers. So numbers and records are really important in this kind of operation because you have so many moving pieces, so many people involved, that if your records get messed up or there's a, you know, gap in the records, it can swing like generations of cattle if it's not like fixed, because you breed the wrong bull, you know, like you get the wrong calf. That can mess things up genetically, so you don't want that to happen. So that's why numbers are super important. All right, whenever you're ready.
So our bull development program is a little different here. We have a really good cooperator program that bring bulls to us after they've been weaned for 45 days with our vaccination program, with the right nutrition program. They meet our genotype and phenotypic standards to match in with our bulls. We develop them here for 9 months, and then we sell age advantage bulls, coming 2-year-old bulls to do the job. That way we split that sale price. That way we have a little bit of skin in the game, and I think that holds us accountable and separates our operation from some different places. One thing I think we have to keep in mind is cattle, within the cattle industry, is the end consumer. This pen is really what it all comes down to, because everything that we do is all for naught if we don't focus on this pen. This is our beef pen. Cattle that are going to the end consumer, selling straight off the ranch. And if that eating experience is not good, if it's not high quality beef that is safe, nutritious, and healthy for feeding God's people, then it's all for naught. So all of this, we are keeping this pen in mind.
All right, so another part of family ranches that's super important is ranch moms, ranch wives, ranch kids. We got Rayleigh, we got Carly. So this is Carly, and she also plays a role in the ranch.
Yes, I wouldn't say I play a big role, but I definitely try my best to keep Tucker in line. That's my #1 job. Keeping up with our 2-year-old's a lot of work too. I help Tucker with organizing beef orders and making sure he's on top of that. And I love prepping our meals. We try to cook lots of beef because that's what we like. I have fun doing that and packing up orders and yeah. So, and just talking to customers. I like to go travel with Tucker whenever we go to cattle conventions and that kind of thing. So
awesome. So when I met Carly, she's like, oh, I don't do a lot, but she does a lot, and I think that's important to emphasize on. So I just love the family basis behind ranches, and every time you're at a family ranch, especially this one, you can just like feel it. So just wanted to show you guys that.
Horses are an integral part here for us at the R.A. Brown Ranch. Our heritage runs deep in the AQHA Association, and we love quarter horses. They work really well out here in North Texas. They help us do our job. We couldn't do our job without them just because of how much brush and country that we have to cover. It takes a strong horse that it's able to work all day, and we count on them. There's a lot of trust between a cowboy and a horse, and we trust these horses and use them as a really great tool here on the ranch.
All right, that is all we have for the R.A. Brown Ranch with Tucker. I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you did enjoy it, remember he is on social media as well. Where can they find you on social media?
Tucker Brown, R.A.B. It'd be all across all platforms.
Even on YouTube?
No, almost.
I think we should get Tucker on YouTube.
Might look into that.
If you like this video, remember to like, share, subscribe. Thanks for watching, and as always, hasta la pasta.